Good morning and welcome to another episode of the 10,000 Club. It's just Kim Anderson and I today. Hi, Kim. How are you?
Hi, good morning.
Good. October 27 on the calendar today. It's sunny where I am in northern Michigan today. How about where you are?
Yeah, it's beautiful out. I had to shut my blinds for this live stream, but as soon as it's over, they're going open. Lots of sunshine coming in.
Beautiful. Well, just a few days left in the first of the last 3 months of the fourth quarter. So almost closing out October. And the news is a buzz about real estate and what direction it's going in. So we'll see what the next months provide. But today we're going to be talking about timelines and deadlines and helping you become a pro and how you manage those things so that you help your clients win. So Kim and I are going to be talking about that and all the different facets of maybe what we do, maybe what others do, but how do you keep track of the things that are really important to helping you get to the closing?
Right. One of the first things I learned and have never forgotten are the letters CYA. I think we know what that means. And watch those time.
I was going to say, let me write that down.
And watching those timelines, my trainer taught me that how important those timelines were. And my biggest fear was I hear these words ringing in my ears, even 20 plus years later. If you don't follow the timelines, your buyer just bought a home as is. And that's what stays with me, continues to stay with me, that if we don't follow those timelines, write them down. I like to do everything on the day before it's due, just because I don't want to jeopardize my representation to my client and then lose all my negotiating ability, right? So it's very, very important to watch those timelines. I'm a 9th day girl, not a 10th, right?
Yeah,
I like to have my repairs done the day before, because then somebody's working, somebody's not available, they can't talk, all those things that happen. And as Tracy knows, I'm not a fire insurance girl. I don't like it. It's too much stress for me. So by being proactive, I'm on top of it. Everybody's happy. You get to be a pro. Everyone loves you. Everything's smooth, right? And it's when we miss those timelines that everyone ends up in a panic. It's just not a great experience for ourselves or our clients.
Yeah. So when you get a client under contract, and let's just say you've written in the 10-day inspection that you just alluded to as an example, because in the previous market we were in, we were doing 3 days and 5 days and 7 days. No, if you wrote 10, you were never getting your offer accepted, but you know, the tides have turned. So let's say 10 days. So when you write that purchase agreement, you get that accepted offer and you know you have a 10-day inspection timeline. What do you do with that? How do you keep track of it?
So I use a program called Folio, which we will explore today. I've talked to Tracy and Cindy, yourself and Cindy, and I believe I don't know if you use your CRM or you write on your calendar. Is that right?
Yep, on my calendar.
Everything goes on your calendar, and we'll let you talk about that. And Cindy writes everything on her calendar. And I asked Cindy, you are my hero, because she does 100 transactions a year. I'm like, follow every single timeline. She does. She always has a pad of paper. She always has her calendar, and that's where she writes everything at. So whatever works for you. I always tell agents, the best program out there is the one you use, right?
Yeah.
It's the one you use. And so how do you track yours? And then we'll come back to Folio, but let's talk about how you track yours, Tracy.
Yeah, for me, it's you've got to be following your sheet of what's next, whether it's the buyer or the seller, your transaction closing checklist. So everything goes into that, but I also put timelines and deadlines in my computer. And I usually do the 2-day reminder. I have the first reminder, and then I have the second reminder as a backup, and then the actual reminder pops up. So it's actually a 3-prong thing for me, but it pops up for me. It's in front of me. It has to be, you have to figure out how to keep it in front of yourself. So write it down. My checklists are all digital. A lot of people print them. They get a file folder, they staple it to the front. Every time the phone rings and that client calls, you pull that folder out, you set it in front of you. That's the way I used to do it. And I know Doug Hale does. When you're talking to Doug, he's grabbing a file a lot. So a lot of people do that. And if the file is in front of you and it's written down, and you train yourself that every time you talk to that client, you write down questions that they had, answers that you gave them, things that you're supposed to be following up on, timelines, deadlines. Write it down.
Yes, yes. So, and I typically would use a calendar because I have a lot happening in life, as many of us do. I have everything, not in a written calendar, but on my master calendar.
Mhm.
I actually take my personal life calendar and export it into my 5-star calendar. So I'm only looking at one place for everything, so I don't
Yep.
overbook. You know, I'm a believer that if you have to do something more than twice, you need a system. And
Mhm.
everybody knows my motto is there's a spreadsheet for that, right? There's something that you can make that's going to make your life easier. So one of the things that I think is a really great secret that I've been using for years and years and years that I'd like to share with agents, because you can have 3 transactions going at the same time and they're free. It's a free program. Then if you love it, so for me, because I do about 15 transactions a year, sometimes I don't have more than 3 going at the same time.
Mhm.
And so I can, as long as I archive one transaction, I can keep 3 going and there's no fee to it, right? And then as life has gotten busier and a bulk of them come maybe in June, July, August, I went over 3 and I believe it was $200 I just pay for the whole program every year. And I have it. So if this is a good time, I'll share a little bit about that with you.
Yeah, yeah. So what's
Okay.
the name of it? So tell us about the program. Who
Okay,
developed
it's
it?
called Folio. And let me, so it is right here. It's called amatree.com. It's called Folio. Okay. And what it says here, Folio is free to use with up to 3 smart folders at a time. When you first sign up, you receive a 14-day free trial. So you don't have to do the trial. Just take your 3 free and use it. And especially for new agents who may not have 3 going at the same time. But here's the page. Here's a little sample of what it looks like.
Mhm.
And what I like is when, say, Star Title sends me title work on a deal that I have going right now, 10065 Garrison, right? It's going to organize those into that Folio folder, but it will not move it from your inbox. You're going to see it. And then if you want to keep it in there, you take you click off the X for the inbox, and then it stays right in your Folio tab. So it's very organized. It's going to help you, and I'm going to show you what it looks like in real time. And then you see here, there's a timeline, and we're going to look at all that. So I'm going to get off that and go over here. So this is my timeline. What I love about it, well, let me just go back. Here's what it does. When I enter something into Folio and I give it a time and a date for tomorrow, Friday, I know that I need to check in with Rich at the township. My title insurance, this is on Browntown. These are all on Browntown. So it gives me the address and there's a reminder there. And so it's telling me that I am on my last day with, or the title insurance's deadline is there, et cetera, et cetera. So, so it just goes right into my calendar at the beginning. Now, if I took this and I edited it to say, 10 a.m., I have everything come in and it just comes in the morning, but you can put home inspection, 10 to 12, and it's going to come on 10 to 12, whatever you tell it to do. So here's my timeline. So I have made myself timeline templates. So when I go in to make, hey, I see 10065 Garrison is pending. Is that true? Add it to Folio. I go, yes. And it runs me right through it. And then I tell it, hey, this is a buyer, use my template. So I'm not recreating. It's just like what you do, Tracy, with the checklist.
Yeah.
But I have it on Folio. And every time you enter something on Folio, it automatically goes, if you give it permission, will go right to your calendar. So
Nice.
I know every day when I see those blue tabs, something's happening.
Right.
In this case, yeah.
So every time you do a transaction, because you've told it, this is my template, it's going to be asking you the same things. Hey, where's this? Where's this? Where's the, okay.
Yeah. So right here, if I pulled in this template for a buyer, I'm going to put in offer accepted 1027. It knows when to, whatever I tell it to do. So I've told it, remind me about the home inspection to schedule it the next day.
Yep.
I remind myself, send executed contract to the lender, submit it for review. These are all my internal. and we'll keep going through this. But the other thing is that once you get it set up, I don't do it before because it's going to be a learning my client. But every time I get it set up, it's ready to go. I share with my clients. They think I am a rock star. You know how you get your lender updates and you get those updates and you just love it. And they have some big automated system, which this one's going to be more on me to do.
Yeah.
But every client says that is so helpful because I say, earnest money due. Our contract says it's due in 48 hours. And then as we know, 5-Star has 2 business days to deposit it. So they know when they look at this, oh, Kim, I need to get you an earnest money. Now I'm reminding them, but this puts it right in front of them. So you can tell it how many days. Loan application, usually I say 2 days. It might be 3, so then I might have to alter that.
Yeah.
My inspections are 10. So it takes your offer accepted date and automatically populates whatever you tell it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing.
This is great because what you've done is you've taken your checklist
Yes.
on paper, or if you put it in .loop and you've done it this way. Yeah, I like that you've even done your title insurance deadlines that way. That's really good. So if you haven't gotten it, you're reminding, hey, Star Title, I'm looking for my title work. I don't yet have it. And then you might find out if there's a hiccup or something going on with that you can alert others to know. Either you need to write an addendum to extend that because those are timelines and deadlines.
Yeah. So you've got, if you have HOA documents, once you pull this into your template in, it's not HOA, delete, it's gone. So I have it there, but if it's not in a homeowners association, I just hit delete, take it off my timeline.
Yeah. Doesn't
Your
apply to
final
this one.
walkthrough, review your HUD. The only thing I don't put on here because my clients see it, but at the end, I might have, if it's a list on a listing, I say pick up key box, pick up sign, but I won't put in there,
closing gift.
Closing gift and a review. I don't do that. But I want to show you one, how easy it is. And I just need to go to Folio over here. Sorry, you guys are all seeing our notes on how we track 10,000. Okay, so, all right. So when I go into 10065 Garrison Road, see it here? And I went up there and told Folio, here's the ones I have going, right? See them? And it's asking me about Dorchester. I'm like, I helped an agent last night. I'm going to click on it and go, nope, not my client. It disappears. So it's always looking. And
it's searching through your email saying,
this is
okay.
Yeah, this is the one that we were texting about today. And so I just go in, and if I click on it, it'll say, I'll go, not my client, and it'll just remove it right out of there. But it's telling me, I know you have this one going, this one going, this one going. So here's my Garrison Road. I just want to show you, I love this program. It's so easy. It's free for 3, especially for new agents, and for seasoned agents, it's super easy. So here it is. You can see I have shared this with Ashley and Mike after I set it up, and you have past dates. So now you can go in and say, okay, I took the offer on the 17th, and you have options. Is it in progress? Is it pending? Is it completed? It's so easy. And so,
this is transparent to your clients as well, because when you're saying they think I'm a rock star, I'm thinking you're just saying because you've told them these things. No, you've shared your Folio electronic file with them. So you've set the expectation of, hey, I'm the pro. I've got it. These are all the pieces and parts of the things that we're going to be doing and accomplishing within our transaction. And I'm going to be tracking it.
Yep, I'm on top of it. I got it. You can add service providers. I have Star Title in here. You could add, lenders, whatever you want to have. It has a lot more features. Yep. So it knows my purchase agreement. You're going to set it up to your purchase agreement or what you normally write. So I've submitted it for review. I've sent the contract to the lender. I've collected the earnest money. My loan application's been made. So I knew on Saturday, the container for radon was going in. He's going to coordinate that with, you can make your notes. Then the home inspection was Monday. Here's who did it. And now, right now on the 25th, I sent a repair request. I know that my seller has 5 days to respond. Look, here it is, the 30th.
Okay.
It's amazing. So I say in progress, title insurance deadline, actually, that's complete. You just go from here and you say completed. See how it knows your timeline? See how it uses the pending date? It
Yeah.
has dates that it uses.
Yeah, the moment you put in that pending date, it knew that you told it 10 days.
10
That's my
days.
timeline.
Yes.
And-
So simple. So
Mhm.
here, so this one, the well and septic, my seller said to me yesterday, hey, when's the well and septic? So I said, let me text him. So I've added this and I need to say it's in progress because the test was yesterday. It was yesterday at 1:30. And if I wanted to, I could say, you know, add a note done by, you know, ABC Environmental, you know,
Yep.
you can add all that.
Yep.
And so then the one thing that I love it for too. So right now I know where I'm at. I've got a repair request out there. They waived the appraisal. I need to follow up somewhere around the 7th. Hey, do you have those results back?
Mhm.
Right? They've been working on home insurance, so I know, and I don't know if it's done, but I'm gonna say it's in progress.
Mhm.
Depends how you want to define pending and progress.
Yeah.
Pending is a little further along. And I need to have loan approval by the 18th because that's what my contract says. I'm going to be looking for that final loan approval.
Yeah. You know, in process to me says we've had a conversation,
Yes.
we're working on it. Like you
Yes.
said, pending is there is something happening. They've done it. We're just waiting on the results. So that's
Exactly.
pending. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And then I've got my final walkthrough. Remember to check for the repairs, verify any personal property that's supposed to be staying. We're going to review the HUD, or better known as settlement statement, estimated close. And look at this one. We're going to close on the 21st, but they have 30 days. How many times do we forget? Hey, what's possession?
Yeah.
So as you can see, it's just a simple conversation, as Tracy would say, about the transaction. And my busy professionals, busy anybody buyer, like, oh, what's up? What are we doing next?
Yeah.
It's so simple. And then every time I change something, then it alerts my buyer to say, oops, you have an update.
Yeah.
Kim just said, oh, well, and septic's in. Everything looks good. Now you're not going to use that to not communicate better, but
Yeah.
they're going to see it's in, it's all good. We need to have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
You could say here, my people work late. They're in the medical field, so they work till 10 o'clock at night.
Yep.
So we had a conversation at 10:30 on Monday night, and we were reviewing title work. So if I really wanted to, I say completed, but you could say finish reviewing with Ashley, you know, it's
Yep.
just your notes. So any questions about it? Super straightforward.
Yeah,
Super
pretty cool.
straightforward.
So a question I have is, it kind of looked like it was integrated with Google, but yet you went to ametry.com. So it seems like they're two separate things, but are they integrated? So when I log on to my Gmail app on my phone, is it Ametry or is it Google?
I'm looking at mine. I gave Google the permission to talk to it. I don't know if it's called an extension, but I had to
Okay.
give permission to connect
Okay.
them.
Okay.
So right now, let me go look. I believe on my phone,
Mhm.
I have all the calendars that I want. And one of them is, let me look at today. I also said yes to the folio calendar. So
Okay.
it's here, right?
Okay.
Yep. And
So you just looked on your phone and
Yep.
everything that you're doing on your desktop is
here.
talking with the Google Calendar. So it's
Yep.
all right there. So that's
Yep.
really nice. So think about yourself on the fly, right? You can update. Can you make these kinds of updates and things
On an
from your
app.
cell phone?
Yep, on an app. Yep. And I color code, so I know on my calendar when it's brown, that is all 5-star calendar, company calendar. My calendar, personal calendar might be purple. My folios are blue.
Mhm.
So, you know, you can go in. I don't know if I did that here or in the master. I must have done it in the master, but they come across as blue
Mhm.
and you can change it. It's just so simple, Tracy. It's one of the best. If you don't want to pay for an expensive CRM, which have a lot of value, and
Right.
especially if you're just getting started, I believe Miss Marissa Harrington, who does a whole team's transactions, uses this
Okay.
for her whole team.
I see a class coming on Folio.
Yes, I'd love to do one.
Yeah,
Yes.
honestly, I learned about Folio about, I would say, more than 6 years ago. Leo Olson talked about Folio way back when, and he's an agent at 5-star, used to be on staff. And Leo really, really believed in folio. And so I think about that many years ago, and now you're talking about it today, that it's still a relevant way to
Mhm.
track your transaction and communicate with your clients. Because as we talked about in the beginning, timelines and deadlines are this important, that you
Mhm.
have to have a system. You need to work your system, and you may try 2 or 3 or 4 different things till you find one that works for you. How long have you been using Folio?
Probably, probably since I came to 5-star, I found it 5 years. I don't know if
Okay.
Leo introduced it, I'm not
Oh.
sure, but I know the whole time I've been here, somewhere around 5 years ago.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And so
Yeah.
you've continued to perfect this system?
Yes.
Have you
Yeah.
changed it much since you began?
Yeah.
Or
I didn't have the templates in the beginning, and I kept thinking, I got to figure out how to do those templates. The good news is now it's just like when I train on dot loop and I show agents how to make folders, you don't have to figure it out. I
Yeah.
can tell you, click here, click there, go there. Sometimes I'll print out a copy of my template and say, here's what I use,
Yeah.
perfect it to yours. And so eventually I made my templates, because each time I'd go, okay, what's next? Okay, we've got to have an appraisal. Okay. And I would be figuring it out. And I'm like, you got to make a template.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
now it's all automated. And sometimes I add a couple things to it that were maybe a condition of the contract, and I might delete, like homeowners. So I put more there. It's easy for me to see it and hit the delete button than to miss it, right?
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, Folio is coming to a screen near you.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah. I have
guarantee
it written
that.
down. We
Yeah,
got to
yeah.
get that on the calendar.
Yeah,
We'll
I
do a
like
live
it.
stream on it. Yeah.
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 Yeah. So at the end of the day, Folio is one way to do it. Some others use different CRMs
Yeah.
that you can pop this information to. You can use a calendar like I do. You can do it on paper. That might be how you're doing it. Someone that's listening. But the important thing is that we track these things.
Right. We have checklists, paper checklists. Some, I still take not so much anymore, but in the past, I guess I probably don't do it more, but sometimes if I'm feeling overwhelmed, I just print off my pending checklist of all my deals. So I might have a folder that has 5 in them happening, so I can see it right in front of me. And so I just kind of write, okay, circle, waiting on title, because we get a little overwhelmed sometimes, and I need to see it in paper. You could do it that way. Yeah, whichever, or you could take those papers like Tracy mentioned and put it into your dot loop checklist. There's so many different ways to run this business, and we try to make them as simple as possible. One thing before we close is I talked with an agent yesterday, and they want to know about what's the best CRM out there. There are a lot of them.
Yeah.
And so I always recommend, talk to those around you and ask them, what do you like about that? You'll want to see what the costs are. There's things like Commissions Inc. We talked about Top Producer, Realty Juggler. It depends what you want it to do. I think one of our top team members still uses KV Core, which we, used to have.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
it's what do you want it to do?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If you talk to enough people to say, what do you use it for? And what do you use it for? And what do you use it for? And then you have to develop, why do I need one? And how will I use this?
Right.
And yeah, yesterday was a good conversation about that, Kim. Just trying to figure out, because there is a plethora of these companies out there. I mean, I said Top Producer was one of the first ones to come out, but there's so many now. And it's not one shoe fits all. So
right. And this is just simply a transaction management. It does not mail you birthday cards and your holiday cards. There's other programs for that, but yeah. Oh, I have one phone on vibrate and one ringing. Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm like, where's that coming from? It was in the box. So I hope this is helpful to everybody. It's just a simple one that I think agents that don't have one is a good place to start. And it's not a lot of time invested if you decide to change later. It's very simple to use and put in.
Yeah. Well, one thing is clear after this conversation, everyone, Kim is the pro on Folio. So if you have a question, reach out to Kim at 5starleaders.com and find out how you might be able to use Folio. And then we'll figure out a way to how to incorporate some kind of a class to set up to introduce all of you to it in a more formal setting. So, well, good. Well, thanks for sharing all that today, Kim.
Yes. Thank you. So All right, well, it's a beautiful day out there, and hopefully we can just take in a little bit more sunshine as the days gets darker around here. So enjoy the day.
Sounds great. And if you're near Hart, Michigan, we're having an open house there
Right.
today
Oh,
for our
yeah.
new Hart office today at 4 p.m. All
All
right.
right.
Ha-
All
All
right.
right. See you, Kim.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye. See ya.
Bye.